What up? What up? What up? What up? Want to tap in with everybody. I see there's a lot of controversy going on right now, and I was gonna speak on it earlier, but I figured I'd wait till the evening to talk on it. So I want to thank everybody for tapping in all the time. We're gonna have an old school convo today, not so much the morning convo setup. But before I get started, let me go tag my peoples in the room. We're gonna be talking about this 50 and Ja Rule shit. So hold on, let me get everybody in the room for a second here. Hold on a second. How everybody doing? Let people get in the room. What they doing? But I noticed when I'm looking at online right now, everybody seems so surprised about 50's behavior. And I think that that's the most surprising thing of all. Hold on, let me get right. Let me drop myself in these groups before we go. Good evening, everybody. Hold on a second. Yeah. If y'all ain't here on the feed, man, if you on Facebook, write in the comments. You on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? And I will be reading some of the comments for the people that's tapping in for this conversation. Because I know a lot of people got a lot of things to say about this circumstance and this situation. So it's many views on this, right? And so we're going to walk through a couple. Hold on. Let me tag my peoples in the comments because they be mad if I get in here. Let's go. Let's see. Let's delete that. But nah, we're going to get to it. Let me just finish tagging everybody in the building. All right, there we go. Tag my bros before we go. See if I can get my guys in here. And let's get this at followers and we lit. All right. So I got up this morning. Well, I seen it yesterday because it was dealing with the 50 Cent situation, right? And so while dealing with this 50 situation, when I seen it, I thought nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? I clearly thought nothing of it like that. Like I seen the picture, I know what 50 be on, but I feel like everybody make it seem like 50 ain't always been petty though. Like 50 big petty. I believe 50 cancer, yo. He big petty. Like it's always been that way. So we got to take a walk back because this is where we are today in society. So today we saying that for people today to say, okay, 50, that's cold, that's doing too much. Let's go back, right? I got a call from my boy Blizzy today, and we chopped it up about this. I already had my own opinions of it, but then when he ran down some more of the history to me, I was like, damn, that's deep. So first, to understand what's going on now, you got to take a walk in a lot of our generations, right? We talking about the late in the 90s, beginning of the 2000s, mid 2000s. When 50 came out, nobody was fucking with Fifth. And I want to give y'all this history. When he came out, you know, if you from up top, then you know 50 before what y'all know. We know him from How to Rob, but we know him from the mixtapes. So there was never a person like 50 who came out and had such a buzz off mixtapes and shit like that. Like if you from our environment, you know. And a lot of people around the world know, but we got a lot of shit exclusively. At the time, now let's go back. At the time, Ja Rule, this is at the time when Ja Rule and Murder Inc. is like, it's damn near at the peak of their shit. This right around the time when Ja really stopped making them girl records. I think what is the joint with him and what's that joint? When they was like that Put It On Me joint. So Murder Inc. had just got to the point where they really was dominating the record, and Ja was just getting to the point where he was on so much R&B shit and that it was irritating the 90s rappers, right? Because for all of the new school niggas, the way rap is today, it wouldn't have made it then. Because at this time, you either had to be really street, really about that, really lyrical, but you couldn't be in between. The Southern artists, they had it harder because they really had to have something to offer at the time. It's like reverse of what it is today for the youth. So at this time, Murder Inc. just painting a picture. They got everybody in their favor. Murder Inc. comes in, and if you remember at the time when 50 dropped the first album, like he was leveraging himself because he knew that 50 in New York, and at the time he had kind of made himself, as we call it, blackball, but he kind of rubbed a lot of people wrong from How to Rob, right? And How to Rob, he dissed all the rappers, right? Like me and Blizzy was saying today, which I remember, like he was like, 50 was the first person that got that Destiny Child feature with that Thugs What I Want. And if you want to be real, at that time, if they would have shot a video, it probably would have took. So I used to always wonder off Power of the Dollar, why? Because a lot of people think Get Rich or Die Trying is projects before that. So nobody really thought 50 would be as big. Nobody. Because for one, a lot of people didn't like him. The money and the guys in New York who was running shit, you know, the Supreme Team, all these people weren't gonna really go against these guys. And if you was a musician, John and Murder Inc., they on the rise. So it's like leverage. Hey, don't fuck with him. He a fake ass nigga. He a rat. You know what I'm saying? And then we got to remember that the reason why they was hiding 50 in the first place was from what them niggas was trying to do to them, right? So, and I'm taking y'all through this before I go, so everybody watching this can understand before we lead up to what 50 and what the fuck 50 said today, or what he said the other day, and why everybody's so out of pocket. And you just got to understand it. I'm not saying 50 right, but he ain't wrong. You know what I'm saying? I feel fifth, right? So even in the movies, they said he told her whatever the case, he was being protected because they was trying to kill him. If you know, like we know that this is connected to his mother too. These same niggas is connected to his moms in many ways. And then he got Mufasa out, man. So in many ways, those are the things that's the obstacles. So when he gets on, he's doing shit, you know, Summer Jam, this before the Dr. Dre and all that shit. At some point, he gets introduced to Dre. So let's talk business. There's never, it's not a lot of times where East Coast niggas got an opportunity to get deals out west, right? So if a really good East Coast rapper could actually go out west and get along with the artist and be in the right circles, and they fucking with him, that's why it's hard for people to sell records, right? And I want to remind y'all, let me explain to y'all Get Rich or Die Trying for all of the people that want around or the youth. When Get Rich or Die Trying dropped, we knew about the shootings, we knew about everything. But when that album dropped, I bought a copy. My little brother bought a copy. My sister bought a copy. I think my dad bought a copy. And we was all in the same house. I've never seen another rapper, and this was me and Stone, we've never seen another rapper ever had that buzz. Nobody, not even Drake. Nobody had that buzz. Not like anticipation for his drop. You know what I'm saying? And even Nipsey said, like, yo, after 50, he said 50 messages was so gangster and destructive, the world needed love. So Nipsey was saying that the reason why Drake became so big was because after the era of so gangster and so much gangster shit, the world needed somebody like Drake to kind of open the doors. That's what, you know what I'm saying, Nip was saying. So 50 go out west, he do the unthinkable. He drop that go, and that shit go bananas. Now, even we ain't used to that 50 completely because of the sound and shit from Drake. Man, this shit sells so many records, right? But everybody had bet against 50, right? Because if you was from New York or top and you was a rapper at the time, you technically couldn't. Unlike today, where niggas who rats and niggas who telling still got successful careers, this shit couldn't have happened back then, right? So with 50 having this problem, if you want to be honest, and we gonna say that he was the first informant, if we want to call it that respectfully, to actually kick the doors in and push it, right? Because if we talk about snitching, because before they wasn't allowed, as they say, but you know, they saying about 50 snitched on people, right? I don't know if anybody ever presented that paperwork. That's another thing. But we know that that's what was the stigma that was on 50. He sold so many records that he put people in a position that was like, well, now you need me though. Because he was bigger than Ja. He was bigger than Jay. At the time, he was bigger than all of them. Like, you needed him at the time to be big. Like, the nigga dropped Wankster. I don't know too many people that could have dropped a beat like that in a song like that, and it was dope, but it was simplistic and got away with it. Now, historically, 50, he an up top rapper, but he sold so much because he sound like a down south nigga a little bit. They love me in the South, man. You know what I'm saying? And then he had lingo of like Texas. But then he went to Cali. That's what made 50 unique, and nobody talk about it. I don't know nobody else who could have came from New York, went to Cali, got the deal, made it out there. You never heard stories about niggas doing nothing to 50, but at the same time, be able to hold the pressure. We also know that Game's first album was mostly 50's music, right? So we really can put that as, because we say 50 had like 3 or 4 before Candy Shop and all that shit, but if you include Game, that's like 4 or 5. And as he got bigger, he started sounding like Ja and Murder Inc. a little bit with the singing aspect. But 50, not only did he blow up, but then he started using Ja beats and he started shutting them down. Like he started putting the same thing they did to him. Now he had leverage. All right, if you want to fuck with me, you can't fuck with them, right? And all of this go back to MEECH too. Can't fuck with not right. So on a bigger scale, what ends up happening is 50 being 50, right? Just he one of the few people I respect 50 in the aspect because not too many people can survive with their back against the wall like that. And he sold all them records. And through the years, they were still saying shit to him. He had interviews trying to get other rappers, but now I can't fuck with you, bro. This and that. I also used to know niggas say 50 won't never in New York when 50 was always in New York. Right? So we talking about the character of the man. He really what he said he was. Nobody ever say he won't that. Niggas had shit to say about it, but nobody ever said that he won't that. You know what I'm saying? And even niggas in Cali said that they ran down on one day he hopped out the car. And was, you know what I'm saying? So 50 in general, we know that his mindset, he at that time he was a street nigga. But when he sold so many records and then the vitamin water deal turned him to a businessman because it was a gamble. He could have took cash, I believe, or the investment. He took the investment and then they sold the Coca-Cola for $2 billion and it was all she wrote, right? So from that point on, that's when 50 started realizing like fuck rap, right? Because then he had G-Unit clothing and all this shit. So he not only did he come in the game, but he was more successful at rap. He was a better artist than Ja, right? He was a better artist than all of Murder Inc. artists. If you want to be real, like as far as the buzz he had, then at the same time he sold clothing like he was rivaling Rockefeller and them, if not more. You know what I'm saying? Then he had his shoes, you know what I'm saying? And then 50. So now, mind you, while he was coming up, Irvin them was trying to kill him. Mind you that they was laughing when 50 was shot up. Niggas was laughing. They had all this to say. But now when we see 50 doing it, niggas got a problem with it. Now hold your energy, nigga. Because like how we say, yo, war ain't got if it's up, it ain't no expiration date on that shit. Now, it's also spiritual because when Earth passed, there's turmoil that like let's put it real. It's been 20 something, 30 years almost. And none of them murder niggas or 15, 20 years. And none of them reached out to 50 as men and was like, you know what, bro? You know, because let me say this. As a nigga that was outside, the same niggas I was running against and beefing with, some of them niggas, and when we became older men, because we both pushed the line on each other, we respect each other crazy. So it almost like somebody relates it with niggas I used to be at war with from other gangs. I got more love for these niggas than some of the niggas that I came up with. But that's what respect do, right? But nobody ever made try to do right or like as men, right? So fifth, if somebody try to kill you, and if somebody try to stop you from being who you become, you're never going to. You'll talk to him, but at the same time, I can get Irvin. I'm saying we ain't saying shit to this nigga because he ain't gonna do nothing but use it against it because we know 50 gonna use it. When Irv passes, there's still turmoil. You ain't never had nobody die where you ain't really seeing eye to eye with, and you got one or two choices when they die. Either you gonna grieve or you gonna still be angry at niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, I had a homie die, and I was still upset at my nigga. Not like, but he was passed, but I was still angry because it was like, I don't know how to sing. I wasn't mad at bro, but I was mad because it's like, why the fuck? Like we never got to resolve our shit. There's still tension there. But we let it go because it's like, damn, we never had that conversation. But not always tension in a bad way. I'm just saying in general. So they tried to kill him. His mama tied into it. They humiliated him, right? They did everything in their power. They listen, he had to go to California to get signed, to be able to do his music shit from the jump. So now we all mad at 50 why? Right? I want to know why people honestly feel, why do y'all feel like 50 has no right to say what he's saying? Irv, even in Irv's last couple interviews, he was uncharacteristically an asshole. For no reason, like Ashanti shit. Whatever you and Ashanti got going on and shit, that shit was none of our business, bro. But because she curved you for Nelly and other shit, you did that. Then Irv did the same thing to bro from Atlanta. What's the singer named Lloyd? Lloyd was being respectful. So y'all take up my issue with the public and y'all niggas is that y'all be taking up for fuck niggas. Right? And I'm saying character-wise. Irv sat there and we watched him when it came down to Lloyd, his first singer. Lloyd was like, I just went out the deal. They was in the Fed shit. He felt like Lloyd was, yo, you going through a Fed case. I'm in my prime. You want me to wait? You might make it, might not make it out. You holding me up? I got a career. I'm trying to feed. Nigga, let me get this money. I might can help you. They froze your shit. So Irv went out his way to talk shit about Ashanti. He went out his way to talk shit about Lloyd, calling them soft and sweethearts and all this shit. We can't get mad at 50. Them niggas ran their mouth for a whole 10 years. And nobody, listen, niggas ran their mouth on 50 for 10, 15 years and nobody defended that nigga. He ain't had nobody to defend him. You can't tell me nothing about Fifth on that. But if you can almost be killed by somebody, they kill your mama, certain crews or whatever, because it's still association. You blackball me, the first real blackball we know. You keep threatening my life. You put me in positions where I try to make sure I can't get no money, but I just so happen to get bigger and I make better music than you, and I put you out of business. And then once, and the crazy part was the same. They tried to put 50 out the game, and 50 got from the point that 50 blew up. Job's career was over from that point forward, because he spent his whole campaign to destroy them record labels. And yes, he was bigger than Jay, Nas, all them niggas at the time when he was out. He was the biggest. You know what I'm saying? And 50 got out of music after like that fourth album, because by that point it was so commercial, but it always was in him with the hooks and shit. But my question to y'all is, why is everybody still taking up what makes 50 wrong? The nigga tried to kill you. Oh, because it's been 15 years. Well, why aren't y'all saying, why y'all not telling Irv and them before he passed, like, when you gonna apologize, when you gonna make it right with 50? See, our culture fucked up, right? These grown men now. So 50 need to have more character than Irv and them ever show him. Huh? It ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun, right? When the rabbit got the gun, now everybody who hunting him, everybody was hunting 50 for all these years. Now the rabbit got the gun, he got the bag, and niggas afraid of him. So I know you thinking, what is MEECH tying into all this shit? MEECH ties into all of this because I see both sides. 50 feel like, bro, I put a bag in your pocket. I put your son through school, acting school. I really made him a full actor. I did my part. Meech was walking around here saying it is true in interviews. I 50 looked out for him and shit, this and that. Now, if we talking about business, or we talking about respect, or we talking about bosses, these are three conversations, right? Business, respect, bosses. Business is wrong of him. Like, if I'm doing business and we getting money, this is loyalty and the money aspect. If you know that's my arch enemy, I get it, you ain't got a thing with him, but it look real bad when we doing business. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was fucking with a nigga that was your enemy in some sense, would you like it? And I'm supposed to be your man's and shit, right? That's on that level. Respect is from 50 perspective, because he's used to being the boss of 50's a super boss. He's so used to being the boss, he's not really used to niggas being on even accord as him, if not more. Now, when you dealing with a nigga like Meech in his prime, he had more money than 50, so they not even. And when I look at Meech from perspective, Meech don't live in the world 50 live in, because he like, nigga, I was the boss of niggas like you. I was the boss of bosses, so I don't think like you niggas. Look, you got beef with this nigga. It's a lot. Listen, me said it's niggas in this state that don't fuck with these niggas I fuck with in California, but I'm still gonna get the bag, and then Meech will get the bag and bring them together and make peace and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We know about all the stuff, and that rat shit can't be said by 50 in my opinion, because of the allegations that was never cleared up by him. So that's not a good point. But I do understand loyalty, because if I put your son through, because 50 could have got a real actor to play this role, and we can't forget that he didn't have to get Meech to play it unless Meech asked for it particularly. But we got to remember that Meech and them could have took this story anywhere. So we can't. I'm not, and that's the part of Meech that we got to be fair about. Yo, it's some niggas who in film school that could have made this shit pop. But 50 already having a stronghold on power and certain shit, that's when we gotta say, well, no, you couldn't, bro. You couldn't get that type of shit, not that way. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what 50 specializes in. Now he could have went to a movie company, right? But that's still not a series where you constantly getting paid. So I understand Meech is a super boss, and he like, nigga, this your beef. Rick Ross that made a song about me when I was locked up. I'm about to do this. This is what Meech thinking. Said I just got home, I had the bag, I'm trying to get back. And let me throw this concept. Hey, bro, couple for on this record. Even though Jeezy was his man's, where they should be talking if they was ever really cool and trying to find a solution. But then you gonna go, you gotta think, you gonna go over there and you gonna go and you gonna for the money. Right? And I know people have shit to say about Jeezy, but still go talk to your dog first before, you know what I'm saying? And if Jeezy ain't want to speak, hey, then I can't knock Meech, but you go to Ross. Ross got the Blowing Money Fast song. The way Meech looking at this, like, I'm gonna throw this concert, raise this money, because they owe Meech. 50 think about himself. Hip hop owe Meech. Hip hop was about to shut down in the mid 2000s. It was BMF and Meech money that kept it alive. Fab, Jeezys, some niggas out west, all over the industry. He was helping. He Diddy, all these niggas. It was his money in the back. You know what I'm saying? And now Meech home, Meech trying to recoup some of that investment. And 50 not trying to hear it because he like, that's disloyal. On a money level for Meech, 50 got a bag, but 50 can't give Meech the bag that he owed. And we got to remember that too, because the bag niggas owe Meech is bigger than 50 bag. You know what I'm saying? If we gonna be legit, but we know some street shit, you're not gonna see all that shit. Because most of these niggas that fell with the jail, it ain't there. So that's Meech is playing the money game. So that's why Lil Meech was like, yo, he was just going to get a bag. Fuck him, da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? But the conversation, if we gonna be real niggas, the conversation should have been had before he met. Like 50 shouldn't have found out by a picture. That's disloyal shit. You feel me? That's disloyal shit. Because how would you feel? You know what I mean? Like, I did straight business with you. I ain't go to your enemies, bro. Like, I ain't take your son to your enemies. You know what I mean? Because I ain't heard nothing. They said 50 just been a loyal nigga with Meech, and that's all we know. Right? So it's a lot of little shit going on behind the scenes that people don't have the privy to understanding. But I will say this. Y'all got to back off 50, man. Because you got to have the same energy for Murder Inc. If y'all saying this now, then y'all need to have the same energy, and y'all should be on the niggas on Murder Inc. that's still alive and making them sit down with Fifth, and you feel me? But we can't judge a nigga can't be a victim of a crime and then we calling him bitter and shit. That's the problem. Today we got to the point where we abuse the victims while we idolize the, you know what I'm saying, the niggas who caused the assaults. Where Jay would say niggas respect y'all respect the nigga who got shot, he respect the shooter. We got to make a choice as a culture. There's some real shit. If you respect the shooter, which we know that's the culture, but today the artists, we respect the niggas who got shot before. That's what Jay said. Now we respect the shooter. But now it ain't no love for the nigga who gets shot or the regular nigga right now. We just gotta find balance. So that's why I say the Meech issue is a loyalty thing, and I can see Meech's point of view, but where Meech is wrong is that as a man, as a boss, you also should know how to deal with bosses. So if he didn't go to 50 and talk to Fifth, it's foul. Right? To hit him later, but another thing is this: even if it's money, if I'm 50, my issue is, nigga, you ain't even called me and asked me. Or there's some lines you can't cross with a man. There's some shit you can do, but there's certain niggas that if a man really has true beef, like real war, like then lost family, you know what I'm saying, then lost close friends to the point where there's no return, and 50 and Rick, they there between his baby mom suing him, Rick doing all the little shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, Gunplay running down on 50 and 50 handed him to work. 50 handed that nigga to work. You know what I'm saying? 50 and his mans and them handed that nigga Gunplay to work. But I give Gunplay credit because ain't a lot of niggas gonna run down on 10 people. But you gotta understand. So that's why I kept saying to everybody, and I've been asking, and hopefully people when y'all watch this video back and everybody who watching would say, tell me why you feel like he wrong. I'm not gonna debate y'all, argue with y'all, and make a big deal out of all of this shit. I wanna know why the public think he's wrong. So that's one of the things I want to tap on. Until we truly understand why 50 feel the way he feel, and this is just another case that the people are not emotionally intelligent. The average person in the public is not emotionally intelligent. They tried to kill this man. What about the stabbing in the studio with Black Child when they poked 50 up with the butter knife and they cut the lights off so niggas couldn't see? How you can't tell that man how he supposed to feel? That's the issue now, is that people running around here in the streets and out here trying to tell niggas how to feel and shit instead of respecting the boundaries. You know what I mean? So, like I said, that's one of the reasons why I came live. So for everybody who tap in with me, if you're watching now or later, let me know in the feed how you feel. I'll be responding to these joints. And it's a lot more current events I'm going to jump in and out of more. But I really want to know how y'all feel because I gave y'all a little background just to see how y'all feel. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to tap in about it. So I ain't going to hold y'all all night. I just wanted to give y'all my perspective, honest perspective on this 50 shit because I don't think 50 wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't think could he have handled it better? Yeah, he didn't have to go public. But this the same 50. Like he look at the shit he been doing. You know what I'm saying? 50 super petty, y'all. So I'm gonna check out Willie Walker BH. Let me know